Welcome to the tutorial video for Phase 2 of the concert report, the research, and specifically this is Part 2, formatting your assignment. So once you log into D2L, you'll be at the course home, which looks like this. And I'm going to change my role so my screen will be exactly like yours when you go through this. I always want to check for news. I have not posted this week's news yet. I've been busy getting all the assignments up for this week, but do check that every time you log in. Then you're going to go to Content, and we're in week 5 right now. Go ahead and scroll down, and you'll see that within the content topic week 5, we're doing 3 chapters. You'll want to read the Getting Started. This week there's been a lot of questions in the help area of the discussions for the start of course learning portfolio. It's a really brief assignment, so just make sure you do that. This video again is for something different, but I do want to direct you as to the importance of doing this really briefly. Make sure you just limit yourself to 15 to 30 minutes, but I want you to have a really honest and just carefully thought out reflective period on what you've learned so far in the first 4 weeks. You'll answer these 3 questions, and then there's a Dropbox you can submit things to, and that link is right here. You can submit that right to it. Okay, so you've watched Phase 2 of the research. Now we're going to talk about formatting. Click on the concert report back here. You'll see Phase 1, which you've already completed. And then this file, Concert Report Phase 2 Research Format. And I put a PDF version. I'm going to go ahead and open up the PDF. Alright, I'm using Mozilla, so my download's just finished. And I'm dragging it. Okay, so what we're looking at is the actual format you're going to use when you submit Phase 2 of your concert report to the Dropbox. So you'll see should be familiar MLA format. You're going to put your last name, and then it will automatically do a header for you if you use the Microsoft. Let me go back. If you use the Microsoft Word file that I uploaded, which is right here, it will have all this formatting built into it. All you got to do is open that. If you're not using Microsoft Word, if you're using some like OpenOffice or other freeware, you should be able to import this into Open Document format and have no problems. Again, I can't really help you if you have formatting issues. That's why I've included the PDF version, which is what we're looking at right here. This, just make your paper look like this. You'll want to use Times New Roman font, please. You'll want to make sure it's 12 point, and then take all the other defaults. It should be double spaced, and then it should look, this is just instructions. You'll want yours to be double spaced, but the first part, the last name, the headers here, this should all look exactly like the same, student to student. So make yours look like this. Instead of composer name, obviously you'll want to put, for example, I'm using the Bach for this demonstration. I would have J.S. Bach as it's found in the approved concert document, our content topic, and then I would have the title which is the Goldberg variations with the BMV number right there. You put your title in italics. Okay, so composer's name is regular, and then you put the title of the work in italics. I've given you some directions here to, again, so you don't have to always come back to this video, but make sure it's 1 page in length, double spaced. Use 12-point font. I did not put that, but make sure it's 12-point font. You'll want to use the Microsoft Word file as a template, and then for a works cited page, that will be your second page, and I've included a sample of what that will look like. You want it to look exactly like that, and I used the EBSCOhost. I used the citation feature for MLA, and it came out just like this. You'll have to space it to make it look like that. Just hit when it starts the new line, just hit the enter key and then tab, and it'll push it over to here. It'll indent it rather, so it's over here. Okay, so it should look just like this. Your last name with automatically the page number will change. You don't want to bold the works cited. You don't want to bold or underline the title. Okay, just do it how I've guided you here. Okay, in the first paragraph, you want to answer the question, who does what to whom, when, where, how, and why. Alright, so I did the Goldberg variations, and I think I still have it up. I want to read this article and sort of summarize the article in the first sentence as much as possible by answering those questions, who does what to whom, when, where, how, and why. Okay? In the second paragraph, I'm going to want to answer these questions, and then I've also given you some prompts in order for you to develop your second paragraph. You may answer all of these, you may not, but do your best to address these questions as much as they apply to the article that you found on EBSCOhost. Okay, and then the last paragraph, probably the most important of the three. This is summarizing the most important thing or the transformative thing that you experienced during the assignment is really important. So while this is obviously kind of easy to find or easy to create, the who did what, when, where, why, how, this will take some time, but it's not going to take as much time as the closing paragraph. All right, I'm not expecting this to be longer by any means, but what I'm expecting you to do is to really sit and think and grind out your thoughts on how this article helped develop your appreciation for this music. All right, what insight did it give you? What type of words or perspectives did the author have that you thought were interesting, that maybe from the YouTube performances that you compared, maybe the author's perspectives were different, were interesting. So this is kind of, I know I'm kind of stumbling over my words. It's hard to explain this and put it into words, but I really want your closing paragraph to kind of be your strongest part of your paper. So, don't just write fluff, I think is what a great guideline here, and I put that in to remind you. Don't just write fluff. Don't just say, this was a great assignment, I enjoyed the piece of music. That doesn't scratch the surface of anything. Anyone can write that hasn't taken this course. I really want you to go a little bit deeper and think about how this affected you. What deep way did this affect you? Or if it didn't affect you in a deeper way, talk about that. but don't just write fluff. I can see the fluff. We all have fallen victim to it in other classes where we just we get to the very end, it's the summary, and we just kind of slap it all out there, just throw it out there, and it's not enlightening at all. So I'm asking you, please, 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 please think about your closing paragraph and think about how you can tie in what you've written in the introductory paragraph and second paragraph. Think how you can tie those things in and address this question of how did the professional review, how did reading it give you an insight to the piece of music that you selected. Okay, did it make you appreciate things more, less? Um, did you even think that what the author said was valid? Um, this might be a question for a more advanced someone that's performed music before. I know there are quite a few in this class, but really, really do please, please, please. This is what makes it exciting for me to read when I'm grading your papers, rather than just checking off if you did something. This is the paragraph that's going to make someone get an A over a B. Okay, if you write a solid introduction, a solid second paragraph, and it's kind of fluffy here, you're going to get a B, B plus. It's the people that I really see are thinking about things, how it affected them, if it did, if it didn't, how they changed from this assignment, from reading about this review. How did it change the way you listen to that piece of music? There were some interesting things in the Goldberg variations that this author mentioned. I don't want to give too much away because someone may have chosen this, but one of the things was the comparison of this Dionyson and what was the other one? The classical and romantic, the Bacchian versus the Dionyson, I think was the insight that he gave, which was really interesting in terms of the performer's approach to performing the piece, like the before he even played the keys. It was Dionyson, it was wild, it was boisterous, versus kind of conservative. So I think that's really interesting, and if I listened to that recording, I wouldn't listen to it the same because of that. So I think that's really interesting, and that's what I want to read. That's what's going to get you an A in this assignment. It's just one page, so don't stress out. Just make sure you manage your time well, you answer the questions adequately, and submit your things to the Dropbox. Here's the Phase 2 research. It's due by July 20th, so that gives you 2 weeks to get everything in on time. So there you have it. I don't think I have anything else. If you have questions, please post it to the discussion board, but I think I've given you a lot to get started. I don't really foresee too many questions. So dig on in, watch the video again, converse with your classmates about things, and I look forward to reading your assignments in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys.